action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. Now we've got a lot to cover today, so let's jump right into it. And first thing I wanted to share with you are some new images released by Neca toys for two new Godzilla figures. These are probably, I want to say these are going to be the last figures that they do sometime for Godzilla. It has been previously mentioned how Neca was not going to be doing Godzilla figures going forward, at least again in the foreseeable future, as Playmates Toys is going to be doing Godzilla figures based on the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie. So we had seen images of these figures actually leak out a few months ago. Now this first one actually released images last week. Both of these figures are being released here in the U.S. as Target store exclusives. The first one is based on the 1989 Biollante Bile Godzilla, is how, I guess how they pronounce it. And I call it more neon green Godzilla. Looks like that's what it kind of reminds me of, that somebody took a big bucket of paint, neon green paint, and dumped it on top of Godzilla. It does have that kind of cool neon effect to it and everything. And then the second one, also, again, kind of incorporating that whole neon look. This one with yellow. This one being called the Hyper Maser Blast figure. And this is a variant of the 2003 Tokyo SOS Godzilla figure. And again, this is being released as a Target store exclusive. And I believe these should start hitting shelves next month. Now, real quick update on the DC Direct front. I just wanted to let you guys know, I talked about this previously in regards to all the major layoffs that's been going on at DC Comics last week. And talking about Jim Fletcher from DC Direct, it was word had come out that DC Direct had essentially been completely shut down by Warner Brothers. And I just wanted to let you guys know that based on an article with Jim Lee, who seems to be in charge of DC Comics these days, the interview was with Jim Lee, conducted by the Hollywood Reporter. But in that interview, Jim Lee states that Jim Fletcher is still with the company, still with DC Comics, and his role, I believe, will be changing, but he has actually still retained his job. Now, unfortunately, there are others that have not. There were definitely layoffs that happened last week, but I just wanted to let you guys know, since Jim Fletcher has kind of become the face of DC Direct. A lot of people, you see him do interviews with people and stuff, so I think he's well liked throughout the community and everything. So I just wanted to pass it along, at least for right now. I mean, who knows what the future holds for any of this stuff, but for right now at least, it looks like Jim Fletcher is still retaining employment with DC Comics. And he's expected to make an appearance for the DC Fandom event, which takes place this coming Saturday, in a panel. So maybe we'll get some more details on everything that's going on in regards to that in just a few days. For you Boss Fight Studio fans, they released images last week for 3 of their 4-inch scale Flash Gordon movie figures. So the one with the t-shirt we've seen before, that one is actually up for pre-order now. And then we're also getting a Flash Gordon figure with the tank top. And then Prince Baron is also getting the action figure treatment in 4-inch scale. All of these look really nicely detailed. These cost about $25 each. And then I know a lot of you have been wanting to see updates on this one. We saw it at Toy Fair for the Phantom. Again, this is a 4-inch scale figure. This figure is, based on the 21st Phantom, and he will be out in Wave 1, and we expect more Phantom reveals to come from Boss Fight Studios as the week goes along, so I will probably be talking more about this line probably towards the end of the week. Now, switching gears to McFarlane Toys. So first of all, I wanted to share this image that was released yesterday by McFarlane Toys. It is the first figure we're seeing for their new Witcher line. I talked about this a couple months ago when some listings leaked out at an overseas distributor, and then the official announcement came down during late last month during their Comic-Con at Home event. These figures are based on the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt video game, not the Netflix series. And with this first image, we're getting a look at their 12-inch scale figure, which is going to cost $39.99. It will be going up for pre-order at first in mid-October at places like Amazon and I believe Best Buy, but it will be available everywhere, so it's not like an Amazon exclusive or anything. Should be out in November. The figure is slated with a November release. And then based on at least the listings that had leaked out a couple months ago, there will be 7-inch scale figures done for this line as well. In the press release McFarlane put out yesterday, they stated additional figures will start seeing release in 2021. So I assume they're probably referring to those 7-inch scale figures. And then for you Mortal Kombat fans, we got new updated images for the third wave of Mortal Kombat 11 7-inch scale figures coming from McFarlane Toys. So we originally saw these figures back in February during Toy Fair, but now we've got the official images and details. Both figures are slated for release in mid-September. They are up for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. Each figure comes with a display base, and then with Katana you get her signature fan weapons, one that's open, one that's closed, and then Baraka has his bladed wrist weapons, and you also get that brain that you can slide over the blade, so that's kind of cool as well. And again, both figures are up for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. For Transformers, they revealed for their next Tuesday Transformer reveal. Remember I mentioned in the last video they were doing one every Tuesday for 5 Tuesdays. They did one last week with Hot House. and this week, this Tuesday's reveal is of Generation Select Bug Bite. So apparently this is a character, and I don't remember seeing him, so I'm going to have to go back and rewatch the Netflix series, the Transformers Netflix series, but apparently he was in that. He is, I guess, a mercenary, so seems, spoiler, a little bit of Netflix Transformer spoiler, but seems to have same symbol on his chest as Sound Blaster, so I guess he was with him. It's a repaint of the hubcap figure with a Bumblebee head, all painted white and purple, so it is essentially just a repaint figure. But you know, if he was in the cartoon, like I said, I don't remember seeing him, so I'll have to go back and look. But if he was in the cartoon, then I guess it's pretty cool. And that figure is up for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, so moving on to Marvel. So real quick, Marvel Hot Toys, they announced today that they're going to be releasing that drone from Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio's drone. They had released it with a Spider-Man figure before, but now they're doing a drone accessory set. So if you want to just get the drones from Mysterio, you can now do that. Should be going up for pre-order soon. I don't believe it's up for pre-order as I'm filming this, but again, should be going up at places that sell Hot Toys, including our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store, sometime this week. Okay, and then finally for Marvel Legends, so got quite a few reveals. So yesterday some stuff leaked out early, which I'm going to get into. But before I even get into that, I also wanted to share with you something else that kind of leaked out, looks like kind of leaked out. So you may recall back in February, Hasbro announced that they were going to be doing a fan poll. They did a fan poll where they had you pick between 3 different characters. And the winner was going to be made into an action figure. And the 3 choices were updated versions of Sif, of Elektra, and Silk. And then the winner was going to be announced. Original plan was the winner was going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con, and the figure was actually going to be made available there. Of course, San Diego Comic-Con didn't happen this year, so the figure didn't get announced or released. Hasbro then, late last month, came out and said that the winner was going to be announced this fall, and presumably the figure would be made available probably on Hasbro Pulse's website in September, when they also put up the other stuff that would have been their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives for this year. Okay, so now to the leak part. So a reseller named Luca in Mexico apparently got his hands on one of these figures, the actual winner, which kind of makes sense that the figure has already been made and produced, since originally it was going to be sold at San Diego Comic-Con. So they got their hands on this figure. They were reselling it on a Mexico Facebook page, and so essentially it's given us our first look at what I presume is the winner of the fan poll, which is Silk. It looks like Silk is the winner of the poll. Kind of makes sense to me. I mentioned this before. She seemed to have the most accessories, so it looks like Hasbro put the most work into that one. I know some people wanted Sif. I didn't really see a whole lot of people wanting Elektra, so I think it really kind of came down to Silk and Sif. And again, based on this, I won't say 100% until Hasbro officially announces it, but based on this, it looks like Silk was the winner. Okay, and then for today's Fan Tuesday video streaming event that Hasbro held, so first of all, yesterday, the big reveal that was supposed to be made today was the Venom wave, and those actually leaked out late last night. I don't know the original source of who leaked them out, and probably nobody does, but they did leak out, and so we got our first look actually of these last night. So it is the Venom wave. These should be going up for pre-order today. This is a general release wave. It's not a store exclusive or anything, so everybody should be carrying it, and again, should be going up for pre-order. Probably by the time you're watching this video, it'll be up for pre-order, but definitely sometime today. So the figures in this wave are going to be that Venomized Miles Morales and Ghost Spider figures that we first saw at Toy Fair. So those are part of the wave. And of course, there's the Venomized Captain America figure, which is being released as a Walmart exclusive. That's not part of this wave, but kind of goes along with it. Then we've got a new Morbius figure. So this is looks like it's based on the Midnight Sun storyline from the 90s. A lot of leather and everything. So an updated version. We had the classic one originally, which I think is a very solid figure. This is probably the most interesting figure in the wave for me personally, even though, again, I'm very happy with the classic one they did. So I don't know if I'll get this one or not. We're getting a new version, yet another new version of Carnage. This is based on the Absolute Carnage saga. So you get the 2 head sculpts with this one. This is a new sculpted body according to Hasbro. I thought it was a reuse of the Sunspot mold, but they seem to indicate in the video that it was a new body. Definitely not the reuse of the original same Carnage that we've gotten previously. So they've done Carnage multiple times. And while this does seem like an improved figure, I don't know, unless you just really like that new head sculpt, I'm not sure there's enough here, at least in my opinion. I know some people really love it and some people are kind of iffy on it. Again, looks like a really good figure. If you don't have any of the previous Carnage figures, then I would probably, definitely recommend this one. But if you already have those previous ones, especially like the one with the unmasked Cletus Cassidy head and such, I don't know. To me, it's just not really worth getting another Carnage at this time. We're also getting movie Venom. So based on the Sony movie, it was hard to tell in the video, but they kind of seem to indicate maybe this is based more on the second movie. They talked about how with the Sony movies, they don't get the source material in time usually to be able to do figures ahead of the movie. But with Venom, because I guess it's also based on his first movie. So I don't know. But we are getting movie Venom. Unfortunately, there is not like an unmasked Eddie Brock head. So Tom Hardy is not getting a head sculpt with this figure. But you do get 2 alternate head sculpts. He is pretty tall. Looks, they said, I believe, between 7 and 8 inches tall. Has kind of a glossy finish to him. So there's that. And, like I said, if you've been hoping for a movie Venom figure, if when the first movie came out and you wanted one, well, now you're finally going to get him. We're getting a Phage, so we're going to be rounding out that team. And I believe, I thought there was only one more member to come after this one, but they seem to indicate there were 2 more members in the Life Foundation, so I don't remember exactly, but I probably will get this one just because I have the other ones that they've done for the team so far, so just so I round it out. You do get that bladed weapon with him, which is cool. It is not really, it's primarily just a reuse of a previous figure, but still, if you want to round out that team. And then we've got finally the Build-A-Figure, which is Venom Pool. So I've been seeing mixed reactions on this one as well. It's a cool looking figure. Sideshow did a version of this Venom. It's based on the Contest of Champions app game. And, Venom, a Deadpool version of Venom, basically. So kind of cool. If it was done as just a deluxe figure, I would probably almost definitely get it. I don't know if it's worth getting all these figures. I'm definitely personally not interested in all these figures in this wave. At most 1 or 2 for me. So I probably will end up passing on this one as a Build-A-Figure. But still, it looks good. Nice size to it and everything. And, if you just love Deadpool, you'll probably want to check that one out. Now, again, this is a general release wave and should be up for pre-order, if not by the time you're watching this, sometime later this afternoon at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Then in other news, which is new news for today, so one of the reveals I was really hoping for was that we were going to finally see that long rumored Walgreens exclusive Silver Centurion Iron Man figure. So they did reveal it. It is not going up for pre-order today. They said the pre-order date was going to be announced at a later time. I have a feeling maybe they weren't going to originally show this today, but because the other stuff leaked out early, they went on and threw this in, which makes me very happy because, again, this was one I was really hoping to see. I love this version of Iron Man with, the red and silver armor, based on, when Jim Rhodes had essentially taken over as Iron Man for a while. So no unmasked head sculpt, though I'm guessing you can probably, if you have the War Machine, the deluxe War Machine figure that they recently did with the Jim Rhodes head head sculpt. My guess is you will be able to use it on this figure if you want to. The articulation in the shoulder, they really kind of hype that you get a nice range of movement even with those shoulder pads and everything. There is, it is a reuse, but with some new tooling of previous Iron Man figures. But definitely, like I said, this is one of my favorite versions of Iron Man, so definitely glad that they're going to be releasing this one. Should be out later this year, but again, I don't have a specific time of when it's going to actually go up for pre-order at Walgreens, but it is being sold as a Walgreens exclusive. For the Hasbro Sentinel, so we're down to the final week, less than a week to go if you've not yet backed the HasLab Sentinel. And today they went on and announced a new tier that you will be able to, a new item that you'll be able to get if they get a certain number of backers. It will be 16,000 backers that they need to unlock this one. So I suspect that they should be able to get that fairly easily. Last time I checked, and actually while I'm talking here, I'll go look, but I think they were pretty close to that 16,000. Yesterday they released a video where they basically kind of showed you them putting the Sentinel together, and yes, as I'm they still got over 1,000. So right now they're at 14,342 backers, and there's just over 6 days to go for this. So again, for them to unlock this new tier, they'll need 16,000 backers, and what you get with it if they do unlock it is it's another alternate head sculpt. This one is based on the Sentinel, so you get the 3 faces, 3 different sculpted faces with paint applications, different coloring on the face plates and everything. The eyes are translucent, or said that they're going to be translucent, so the eyes will light up with each face. Now, the one downside here is that the Sentinel, if I remember correctly, had more than 2 arms, so it's not going to be completely accurate to how the Sentinel appeared in the comics unless they whip out some last-second surprise, which I doubt they're going to do. I wouldn't even know how they would add additional arms to this. So this is really, it's kind of a fun little add-on, but it's not going to be what I would call a true Sentinel just because you don't get the multiple arms. But I have not yet put my money down for the Sentinel, but I am going to be doing it sometime this week. So I've got that. I've got the Neca Toys Metalhead that I'm probably going to be pre-ordering on Neca's website as well. So I got a couple pre-orders I got to put some money down for. And some of you have been asking me about when Hasbro actually will charge you for the Sentinel, and I believe it's basically at the end of this week. So it's not like they wait until they actually ship it out to charge you. So you will want to have that money on hand if you're going to go on and secure at least one. I know some of you are doing more than one. I'm probably just going to stick with one just because of budget. But I know some of you, I've heard some of you say you're doing 2, 3. I've even heard some of you go crazy and want to get all 5. I think 5 was the maximum if I remember correctly. Okay, and then finally, to round things out, they had some teasers, so not anything specific. In fact, not even images for most of these, just basically they gave us some verbal teasers. So these are figures that they are saying are going to be out sometime this year, probably the remaining fan channel exclusives that they're doing for this year. So these are probably figures that will end up getting revealed on the first Monday of each month. That's just my guess. But the teasers that they gave us are the teaser number 1 is it's going to be a figure that was originally done in the Toy Biz line, but Hasbro has yet to do it. So there's multiple choices that could come to mind that were done in Toy Biz, but not sure Hasbro would actually do them. So I'm going to have to think about that one. The next teaser number 2, this is a teaser for a second figure, a character done early on in Hasbro's line and possibly Toy Biz 2, and is getting an update. My best guess on that one right off the top of my head is a Banshee figure. We've been seeing them do all the X-Men from that era, plus they've been doing a lot of X-Men. So we know Hasbro did an early on Banshee. I'm trying to remember though, did Toy Biz do a Banshee? I don't remember. But the clue was maybe Toy Biz did Banshee, so it wasn't necessarily guaranteed that Toy Biz did Banshee. So I'll have to think about that, whether Toy Biz did one. But that's my initial guess on that one. Teaser number 3, this is for a third figure that is supposedly coming this year. Hasbro did a 3.75-inch Marvel Universe figure of, but never a 6-inch version. So the first thing that popped into my mind right away was paper bag Spider-Man. When Spider-Man was wearing the Fantastic Four outfit and he was wearing the paper bag to keep his identity secret in those early days. So that's my guess. That's definitely a figure they did in the 3.75 inch line that was very popular, and I could see, there have been rumblings over the years that they would do a 6-inch version. So that's my guess on that one. And then the final clue is a character that has never been done as an action figure, and that there's a lot of choices that you could throw out there. So I'd have to really think about that one as well. But let me know in the comment section below what you think those teasers are for. And again, these are all 4 of these are for figures that are going to be due out this year. And like I said, I suspect will be revealed as like fan channel exclusives on the first Monday of each month. And then Dwight at the very end started rambling on about something about not getting too much sun, being safe out there. He used the word torch. He said, don't torch yourself. And then he held up an arm of a figure that looks like, it's hard to tell, but it looked like maybe a charred Thanos hand. It looks like the arm is wearing an Infinity Gauntlet. So first thing, it's not really charred or torched, but first thing that comes to mind is, an Ash Thanos, as he turned to ash at the end of Endgame, after Iron Man snapped his finger. So that's really the only thing I could think of. Now, how they actually pull that off in an appealing action figure, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But like I said, just off the top of my head, that seems like what he was maybe teasing there. But again, let me know in the comments section what you're thinking that was a tease for. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about. Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget, we've got the contest going on here on YouTube where you could win $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. I've got a link to the video with all those details in the video description below. Stay safe out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.